Hey, what's up guys? It's Ben with Twig Cycles in Hagerstown, Maryland. This is my 2022 Indian Chief Bomber. Yes, it is me. The beard is gone just for a short time. I decided to shave it off for a good cause. I promised did it for a good reason. I didn't just do it out of a whim, but the beard will definitely make it come back. Thinking about doing a pretty crazy mustache here for November, but the beard will definitely make it come back. But anyway, I'm going to do this video here today on my 2022 Indian Chief Bobber edition. So we're going to check this thing out here and just kind of show you why I chose this bike, why this is a good fit for me, and why this might even be a good fit for you as well, or a bad fit. We'll see both ways. So we'll check it out. We'll start right up front. Obviously all the Chief Bobber editions, just like the Indian Scout 20 edition, and the Bobbers all have the laced wheels. So nice big front Pirelli fat front tire with the laced wheels. These are the Pirelli Night Dragon tires. Honestly, to be completely honest with you, the brakes have been great. My Triumph Speedmaster did have dual front disc brakes, which was pretty cool, very responsive, but I'm not going to complain a whole lot. I know this isn't a sport bike of any nature, but the brakes personally for me, in carrying a passenger, loading it down with luggage, the brakes for me I think are great. This particular bike has the 111 cubic inch Thunderstroke in it. You can go up to the Dark Horse models that have the 116. Personally, I think a 111 is enough for me. It does everything I want it to. I think the most I'm ever going to do with this is probably throw an air kit on and some pipes, which I'll do in a video later on. But honestly, the 111 does great. I've been riding the 111 since 2014, since Twig Cycles started selling Indian. And the 111 is the first engine I ever really rode for Indian, and like I say, it's plenty of torque, 119 foot-pounds of torque. It's plenty for me, and I absolutely love it. I've had no issues with this motor whatsoever. Turn our way back here a little bit. Indian went with a 2-in-2 exhaust system on this thing. Why they did chrome headers with black mufflers, I don't know. Maybe that was a stylistic thing, but I am going to end up doing full chrome mufflers, whether I do a 2-in-2 or a 2-in-1. Probably gonna end up doing like a Freedom Performance 2-in-2 radius pipe, just because I like the style. And I think the chrome pipes really set off a little bit, kind of break up a little bit of the gloss black and just kind of sets it off a little bit. But Indian went with a 2-in-2 on this bike. A lot of people ask, this is a belt drive motorcycle. All the Indians are belt drive except for the FTR 1200. As far as a factory suspension goes, they're actually really not bad. Even with me, I'm roughly 220, 225, 6'2". Even with me, and if I have my wife on the back, the suspension does great. It responds really well, absorbs all the bumps, it does everything I need it to. I'm not riding wheelies or anything on it. You know, I ride pretty hard through the turns and stuff like that, and you know, just day-to-day traffic and stuff like that, you know, riding to and from work, commuting. The suspension, personally, I think is great. Will I end up doing a piggyback suspension? Maybe if I fall into it, but honestly, stock suspension is pretty darn nice. I know a lot of people ask about this. This is a unit motor, and all you see here is just, I washed the bike the other day, so we still got some suds coming off, but this is a unit motor, which means that your engine and transmission are all in one sump, which means when you change the oil, and this does take 5 quarts of oil, unless you're up to a 116, which takes 5.5, the 111 takes 5 quarts of oil. That means one oil change completes everything, does the whole job. Engine and transmission, it's all one sump, super easy. You're not doing engine and transmission 2 separate sumps. So just because I know a lot of people ask that question. This is the 111 cubic inch motor, Thunderstroke from Indian, putting out roughly 119 foot-pounds of torque, which again, I think is enough. It's enough for me. Will I end up doing some performance mods down the road? Probably, but we'll see what I run into. Pretty much just to kind of cover everything up here on the handlebars, just the basic necessities. I got my quad lock, which I'll probably do a video on that here after a bit. Got the quad lock phone holder there, turn signals, headlight, horn, and then over here get the power button. That essentially is what it's the same thing as turning your key on. And then over here you have, oh, let me focus in. There we go. So power button, kill switch, and then cruise button. This bike does come with cruise, which I love. I use the heck out of that, mainly just so I don't speed, but it is nice to have. So something else that's really cool on this bike, even though I don't have the touchscreen display, I like this display. I like the analog. To me, that encases a little bit of that old school kind of nostalgia a little bit. But if I turn this on, even though I don't have the touchscreen display, I can actually go through my modes. So this has sport mode. Let me go in here real quick. So sport mode, standard mode, and tour mode. As for my accessories currently, right off the bat, my Triumph Speedmaster that I had was the first bike out of 8 or 9 that I've had that had a windshield on, and I absolutely wanted to do a windshield. After I had it, couldn't go without it, but I did pay the extra money, go the extra mile, and just get the Indian quick release windshield. It looks good. It says Indian on the front. It's a quick release. And all you gotta do is lift this little lever here. The same thing over here, and the whole windshield comes right off. Literally all I gotta do, pull forward, and the whole thing comes off. This here is pretty much what it looks like without the windshield. It really does kind of encase that bobber look quite a bit more without the windshield on there. I know a lot of people think the windshield's ugly, but hey, it does the job. Doing the same thing with the backrest. This is the true Indian backrest, which truly my only complaint about this bike is the backrest. Indian, I really wish they would have a taller backrest option for the Chief, only because this is quick release, and the fixed backrest is the same height as well. But this is quick release. It pops on and off. You just lift these little levers. There's one on the other side too. The whole thing comes off, and this is what it looks like without the backrest and the windshield. Those are the only 2 quick release options that I have on this bike. It's really all I wanted. I did throw on, I'm a huge fan of Burley. The bags I'll get into in a minute, but this is a front handlebar bag from Burley brand. Has the pocket right up here in the front. Got the old American flag in there, and then pocket here in the back, which is where I pretty much keep all the insurance. There's pockets there for your wallet, your phone, stuff like that. And so the bags were interesting. So these are a set of throw-on bags that I've had, or throw-over bags that I've had for quite some time. I've had these since, I think, 2019. Had them on a Triumph Street Cup, Triumph Bonneville T100, my Triumph Speedmaster, and I had to get a little bit creative, only because the Chief is still relatively new. There weren't any saddlebag brackets that I could find. So I basically took the same system that Indian has for their quick release bags. I actually drilled one teeny tiny hole on the inside of the bag in here, and then on the other side of the bag, and these are basically throw over / hard mounted saddlebags. I did a video 2 weeks ago on the Burley brand bags. If you're curious, I'm going to try and put the link to that video in the description below. Just view that video if you're curious about the bags, how I mounted them up, stuff like that. Just check out the whole review. I tell you about the bags and my opinion on them, everything else that you might want to know or don't really care about. But yeah, just check it out. I think Indian was really aiming for some style points on this as well as performance, because definitely as far as performance goes, for me, I'm going to give it 5 stars, and definitely for design and style, 5 stars. But just little things like this, you know, incorporating that eye for Indian in there. You know, it's got the Indian embossed there in the headlight. We got it up here in this little facade. It's just really cool. Last thing I'm going to touch on, this was another reason I bought this bike. I knew you could buy a Saddleman step-up seat. I love the Saddleman seat. It fits me great. I love the style. This was kind of a happy accident. I had a black step-up seat on order because I wanted to black out the bike. I had a black step-up seat on order for like 2 months, and obviously that was a very popular seat because I had to wait in 2 months for it to show up. It just so happened, Grant, my parts guy, and I were looking around, and we found that they had this brown one available, along with the matching backrest pad. Which, by the way, they have a pretty cool system on how they mount that universal backrest pad. It's pretty neat. I'll get into that later, but I just love this seat. It fits well, nice lumbar support here, sits you right there in the crevice, you know, holds you in, so when you're giving it the beans, holds you right there in the seat, you're not flying off. Very comfortable, so that's my 2 cents there. It's pretty much my 2022 Indian Chief bobber, non-ABS. Again, this one is the 111 cubic inch, which is basically, it's an 1800, to be exact, it's an 1820 cc. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty facts, it's putting out 119 foot-pounds of torque, which again, for me, it's plenty. I'm not racing anybody. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I don't really care a whole lot about trying to be impressive. I bought this bike to be for me. This is definitely an expression of who I am. You know, stylistically, I think Indian hit the nail on the head. 5 stars there. Performance and handling, 5 stars there as well. I've had 0 problems with this bike. I got 900 miles on it currently, and I'm looking forward to many, many miles ahead. I've been stuck in torrential downpours. I've ridden in beautiful weather. I've had 0 issues with it whatsoever. I'm just very impressed with it. It does have cruise control. It's a 6-speed transmission. You can actually adjust the preload on the rear shocks. I know that's important to a lot of people. Lots of cool accessories available for it. I am thinking about exhausts, kicking that around a little bit. Got a couple different options. I'm thinking of definitely doing a 2-in-the-2. I know this style bike, everyone's doing the big 2-in-1, because the whole club style thing is the big scene right now. But I think I'm going to end up doing a set of Freedom Performance 2-in-the-2 pipes, which when that finally happens, when I pull the trigger, I'm going to do a video on. But I'll get into that later. Wrap things up here a little bit. I'm gonna go for a little bit of a ride here. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. We just got home from vacation yesterday, so I'm gonna go for a little bit of a ride and just kind of enjoy some peace and quiet and a little bit of wind therapy. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Always really appreciate it. Feel free to ask questions, leave your comments in the section below, and reach out to me. If you have any questions that you want to ask over the phone, you can reach me at the store number. It's 301-739-2773. So yeah, I'm going to get to riding here, guys. I'll catch you later.